So guys, again, good evening to all of you. So, okay, we're good. Awesome, guys. So as some of you will see me on YouTube and some of you will see me here on Zoom. Okay. So, okay, this is great. So let me just get myself a little prepared. Okay. So give me a second just. Okay, awesome. So I'm coming to your YouTube chat. One second, please. I slept before this call, so just woke up some time ago. So I'm a little slow. So 1 second. Okay. So this is okay. Chat. Okay, guys. So now good evening at both the places. Okay. So those who are at Zoom, they already like what do you say? Know that it's also live on YouTube. Those who are on Zoom, just to announce you all, those who are on YouTube live, okay, there are also few students inside the Zoom. Okay, so the point is simple. Okay, like in case if you want, you can continue on a Zoom on YouTube live, which is free. In Zoom, it's paid. So in this paid, like of course, you can discuss with me directly. Now and after the sessions, we'll have some doubt classes at the end of it, which is not available in YouTube live. Okay, guys. So good evening to all of you. So now let me get started. 1 second. I'll also record the session here also, so in case if you need it. Record on this computer. So let's get started, guys. 1 second. Let me share my screen. Yep. So now I guess you can see my screen, right? Awesome. So I'll open both the chats. In case if anyone have any questions, always let me know. Okay. So guys, what are we going to do in this sessions? Okay. Like about a 7-day session may extend less or more depending on the things that we are able to complete. Okay. So the idea of this session is very simple. Okay. Every day for 1 hour we'll be studying. Okay. And doing projects. And the remaining 15 minutes to 1 hour, 30 minutes, you can ask me the doubts. Okay. That is, this doubt is only available for people who are in the Zoom. Okay, and what are we going to make in this, what do you say, next 1 week? So we are going to make, we are not going to make a very complicated, because if we go complicated, it may even last for months. Okay, so we are going to make a simple blog. Okay, what do you say? I'm coming to your question, guys. Just a second. So we'll be making a MERN application, a blog MERN application. That means front end in React and back end in Node. So initially, I'll give you some basics of React. Then I'll give you some basics of Node.js, and then we'll make the project. Okay. So maybe like in first 3 sessions will be the basics of Node and MERN, Node and React. Okay. Okay, guys. What is the prerequisite for this session? It's JavaScript. Okay. So how to join Zoom sessions? I think you will have a link somewhere in a group description or something. Okay. Just give me a second. If it is not there, I'll just ping them. You'll give me 1 minute. Mm-hmm. 1 second. 1 second, guys. Just 1 second. You'll get the message in the Zoom in the YouTube chat. Okay, guys. What things will be covered? The basics of React, the basics of Node, so that we can complete a blog project in one. Okay. A recorded session will be provided on YouTube. Yes, like whatever video is on YouTube is always there. No, we don't delete it. So that's not a problem. Okay, guys. So let's quickly get started. Okay. Some of you may have already attended some of my previous sessions, so you may be aware of React basics. But anyway, you can be me like for a session or longer, right? Okay, so when it comes to code editor, I'm using VS Code. At this point, I'm not giving you an introduction of VS Code. Like, the point is, I assume that you guys know what is VS Code. In case if you have never heard about VS Code, it's just a better alternative for your notepad in which we can write code. Okay. In case you want to download it, just give it a Google search, VS Code download, and we'll cover it. Okay, the next question, will we do authentication? So see, we'll not do authentication at the start. In case if we have time left, we'll add authentication in our project. Okay. So now, okay. So guys, I'll create a project here. So I'll divide it into 2 parts. Okay, let's call this YouTube, and let's have 2 parts of it. Part number 1, let's call it React, and then this is Node, so that we can understand the basics of both the things, right? Okay. Since I will be telling you nodes, I may have to give you a little basic of MongoDB, but we'll see that, don't worry. Inside the React, okay, I'm creating a new project. Make sure whenever you are creating a name for your project, it's always in a small letters. One second, please. Give me a second. Okay, guys. So let's continue. Okay. Any doubts? So let's do one thing. No. So it will be much smoother and no one will have any problem. Like I will continuously teach for a period of 10 to 12 minutes. Okay. Let me teach. If you have doubts, collect your doubts. Then at the end of 10 to 12 minutes, again, we can discuss those doubts. And then again, proceed for a smaller set to 10 to 15 minutes doubts. So what will happen? There will be some doubt. Maybe like I'll be explained that doubt in a few minutes. So wait for 10 to 12 minutes to further doubts, or you can just mention your doubts in the chat, but I'll answer it after 10 to 12 minutes. Okay, I'll answer it one by one. Okay, so now see what I'm doing. Okay, so at this point, okay, so now, okay, so let's do what to do. So now we have created a folder, like I have a folder hello, and my VS Code is there. Okay, so now I have to get started with React. So now how to get started with React? Okay, that is a big question. So step number 1, to get started with React, of course, you need to install something. And what is the thing that you have to install? Only one thing. So let me bring my Safari. So you just have to install Node.js. Now that's quite amazing, right? We are going to do React and we have to install Node.js. But yes, unfortunately, and you will know the reason. Okay. Soon, like once we do something, you will realize why Node.js is necessary to do React. Okay, so clicking downloading Node.js is a piece of cake. Okay, make sure you download the LTS version. LTS is lifetime support. Okay, current is the latest version, but latest version can have some bugs, and at this point, you guys will face difficulty in sorting out bugs sometimes. Okay, so LTS version, and here you have different things. Means based on your operating system, you can download it 632-bit or 64-bit. And the good thing is, it's quite simple to download it. Just it's like installing any other app on your operating system. It's special for Mac OS user, you can use this, but in case Brew is installing yourself, you can use a Brew method. If it is installed, like I presume you know how to use Brew. If it is not there, chill out, just install it here. Okay. Awesome. So once this is done, awesome, great. So now let's come to React official docs. React docs. Okay. React docs. Okay. 1 second. Just give me a second. I think my noise compressor is not on. So let me turn it on. Basically, like you will not get any kind of noise from my side. For that, I use a special application. So just turning it on. Yeah, I think you can see the pop-up on the screen. I don't know if that pop-up is visible to you or not, but yes, for me it's visible. Of course, and let me change that time. Okay, just let me know. Am I still audible? So we can continue. Yes, no, something. No one? Yes, awesome. So let's continue, guys. So let's get started with React. So the one thing that I'll show you guys is getting started with React. This is a doc. Okay, so just click on React. Okay, so this is the official, like what they say, you can say the documentation of React website. So of course, in which they have explained you some of the features of React. Okay, and they have given you some of the, like what they say, some examples to continue with React. Okay, this looks quite good. Like you can make a basic to-do application, some input and output. These things are great. Okay, the only one problem is, okay, now you know there are two things, function and class. Okay, so basically in React you can use both function and class, but we follow the class method, function method instead of the class these days, and there are a number of reasons for that. So because of that, what happened, this has got a little outdated. Okay, it's, we cannot say it's not useful, it has got a little outdated. They need to update it. Okay, and Facebook is slow in updating. You know, Facebook is the one who made React. Okay, one important line is React is a JavaScript language. What does that mean? That clearly means JavaScript is the prerequisite for learning React. Okay, whatever I use it from JavaScript, I'll mostly explain it to you, but in case if you know any programming language, generally it will not be a problem. Okay, awesome. Okay, so now let's come here. It has three features. One is a declarative, component based, learn once and write anywhere. This is okay. Like what are the meaning of this? We'll talk about that. It's some simple meaning. I'll explain you. Okay, like few things like declarative, I will explain you on the way. Component based, you can think it like, okay, this is not a correct explanation. This is just an analogy. Like means I'm comparing with something so that you understand it. Okay, though the real explanation is little different. Okay, so just imagine a function. Okay, so now what happens if you have a piece of code, you want to use it again and again. So what will you do? You will create a function. Okay, and then what will happen? You will call that function again and again. Similarly, component based means like if you want to make a set of UI, like let's suppose a Netflix. On Netflix, what do you have? You have number of movies, right? Movies and games all look exactly same design, right? So do you think they have made that card for each movie separately? Not, no, right? They have made one card. They are just changing the data of that again and again. So this is what called component based. Like if you are working on a similar design, don't write the code for that design again and again. Instead of that, just make it one time and just change the data of that again and again. Like you call a function, you pass different data every time. Okay. Learn once, write anywhere. I think I don't need to explain it. Basically, you can learn once, write. It's a machine independent, and also it can be used for multiple purposes. React can be used for making web applications and even for, like what do you say, Android and iOS app, like React Native is the alternative for that, right? These were the boring parts. Don't worry about that. Okay. So now the problem is, since this doc is not very much updated, okay, since this doc is not very much, means there are topics, good topics, you can refer it, but not too updated. So we have to go to their GitHub repo. So I'll write GitHub create React app, create React app. Okay. And why am I showing you all this? Why I'm not directly getting started? For a very simple reason. Things change. Things are not same. New features are getting added. New commands are getting added. Older commands are getting changed. So you should basically have an idea, okay, where to refer. Okay. Also, in case if you are looking for a sponsor, you can always sponsor them. Basically, Facebook. Okay. Like I have no such aims. In case if you have such high aspirations, I'm with you. Okay. So basically, here they have given the instructions how you can get started with React. In simple words. Now, as a beginner, I know reading documentation is quite difficult and quite boring also, right? But as you go into web development field, documentation are a very important part. Okay. So along the course, I'll even guide you to read documentation as far as possible. Okay. Like see, they have given you a quick review. This is the way how you can create a React application. NPX. Okay. Create React app and then the name of my app. What is this NPX? We'll talk about that. CD means like go to your like what I mean to say your project folder, and then again npm start basically means start your React application. In simple words, let's use this and let's create our React application. Now for that npx and npm we never installed them, right? Yes, you are true, but basically we installed something which is called Node, right? Which silently installed npm and npx. Like if you want to check it out, have a look. So if you write node space -v, you will see, of course, node install, you'll get a version number. Now the good thing is, one second. Yeah. So now the good thing is, like see, it doesn't matter, you should have a same version like me. Till it is a number, I'm satisfied, you are good to go. Okay. Then you can have npm -v. So you'll get it silently install npm and npx. What is the difference between them? What is the use of them? We'll of course see. First, let's get started. Awesome, great. These things are installed. If you are on Windows, like I have a terminal by default. On Windows, you have CMD, but I'll suggest you to use git bash. Okay. Like in case if you don't have a git bash, you can let me know. I'll guide you how to do that. Okay, awesome. So now I'll bring this up. So since this is a first project I am creating, okay. So what I'll be doing, I'll open that terminal kind of thing in this. Okay. So now this is in a particular folder. So I'll follow the command method here. So you guys will also know what to do and what not. So basically now what is the aim? The aim is just to come here, like I mean to say, from this point, this like where am I in the terminal? You can basically do ls and check. So this is my home folder. So I'm in my home folder. From the home folder, I have to get to this place where this project is basically created. Okay, or I'll delete this file also. You just need to go to the React folder, and here you will be creating a project in simple words. So how to go from there? The idea is very simple. So you have to first decide in which folder your file is. Okay, so it was in your teaching folder. I made it inside the teaching folder. So now you have to go inside the teaching folder. So ls will just list out the current files and folders. It will not go inside any files and folders. cd will help you to go inside any folder, not file. You cannot go inside a file, right? Or any folder. cd teaching. So just write T and press tab, it will complete for you. Okay, so now you're in the teaching. You can verify it by writing ls. You can see inside the teaching, I have a few things. Okay, so now you will have something called YouTube. No? This is our folder, cd YouTube. So now I'm just, like now when you write ls, node and React, so let's go into React, cd React. Awesome, done, great. So now we are here. You have verified it, right? ls, it's nothing because in your React folder is completely empty. Right, so now see how to create a React application. Just use that command npx create React app. Let's give a name to our app. What name do you think will you give to your app? It's totally up to you. There are a few restrictions though. Like let's suppose I give the name like this. capital HELL. It will give you an error. It will shout like, hey, capital letters are not allowed. So I'm like, okay, man, no worries. So like name can no longer have capital letters. It's not only at the start, you cannot even put a capital letters even in the middle somewhere. If you want to use two words, put a dash in the middle. So I'll remove the capital letters as commanded by them. And now is the tedious process. It will take a minute or two just to get it completed. Okay, this part. Sometimes take a little time. It depends on your like what do you say, like speed and all that. I mean, like a little internet speed also, and the amount of RAM and all that you have. Okay, because there are a number of processes going on in your operating system, right? So it matters a little. So what we are basically doing is like create React tag is a command to create a React tag. NPX is something, NPX and NPM as of now, something, it's a command basically. Hello is the name of your project. Okay, so hello name project will be created, inside which there will be a number of files and folders. So since it is going, if you want to have a look at your C, a hello folder is created. Inside the hello, there is a file is created, which is package.json. So remember, package.json is the first file which is created. And then there are a lot of files too. What is this file package.json all about? So package.json is like a setting files for your project. What is the setting file? We'll see in a while. So let it get installed. It may take a minute or two. Okay. So once the installation is done, then we'll continue. Okay, guys. So let's wait for a second or two. Okay. So this is okay. It is taking some time. Awesome. Yes. Okay, guys. So till that time, you guys have some questions, let me know. Okay, I think you guys received the link in case if you want to join Zoom. It's there. Okay. Okay, awesome. Will we get certificate? Yes, you will. Okay. Okay. Do we need to have a knowledge of Monstack? No, that I'll take care. You just need to have a knowledge of, if you know JavaScript, it's very good. In case if you don't know JavaScript, at least knowing at least one programming language is necessary, else you will have problem at number of steps. Okay. And our new workshop is also, why does not it accept capital letters? There is no particular reason for that. Okay. Earlier it used to accept, now NPM has totally neglected, like they don't allow any capital letters in the name. If you ask me the reason, I'm also not sure about the reason, but I guess there is no such reasons. They are like, there are something called conventions. No, we follow that naming conventions. That's the whole idea. So please explain each part of Monstack. 1 second. There are multiple questions. MERN and the users. Okay, I got it. I'll explain it. Just give me a minute. And also, sir, what is the goodies using? The goodies is for, I think, everyone. Okay. So let me explain till it is getting installed. Okay, let me explain. And the part of Monster. Okay, so what will I do? I should have done at the start, but yes. So for that, what I have to do, I have to basically connect my digital pen. Give me a minute. Okay, so where it is. 1 second, guys. I need that connection in order to write something on the laptop directly with her pen. So what if I create with small letters and later change it to, so you can change the name of the folder, but the project name you will still not be able to change it. Okay. There's a difference between project name and folder. Okay, guys, I will change it to black. Wait a second. Settings. One second. Fields. Okay. So basically, when it comes to MERN stack, like what are the different topics that are included in MERN stack? Okay. So let's get started with that. So MERN. So MERN is basically divided into two parts. Okay. Front end and back end. Now, what is this front end and back end all about? If you see this MERN, okay, this MERN consists of 4 letters. Every letter has its meaning. M stands for mongoose. E stands for Express. R stands for React. And N stands for Node. Okay, in simple words. So now, from these 4 things, this mongoose, Express, and Node. These all are part of the backend, and this React is a part of the front end. So you can assume that front end is much simpler than backend, but it's not the case. Okay. To learn React, this is a prerequisite. We should know HTML. We should know CSS. And it's always good to have few frameworks of CSS, like Bootstrap and Tailwind CSS. So Tailwind CSS is much more popular as of now. So in case if you are not aware of HTML and CSS, so basically you can understand them like the basic building blocks of the web. Okay, yes, I'm coming to that. Okay, SAS also. So it's SAS. Okay, so now these are the few things that are very important. Bootstrap is okay. People use it sometimes more or less. Tailwind CSS is quite popular in these days, and SAS is always there. Like you cannot write very big CSS codes without SAS because it helps you in reusability. That is one great advantage. Okay. So basically, they are the building blocks of your web in simple words. Your next step is JavaScript. JavaScript you can easily divide into 2 parts. One is like JavaScript fundamentals, in which like you will have a lot of coding things, and the second thing will be DOM. What is this DOM about? This DOM is like how you can interact JavaScript with HTML and CSS and modify them. Okay, and this is the very much fundamental part of this course. Not DOM, means apart from them, this part. It's a very much fundamental part of this course, MERN stack. Without this, you will not be able to like do either front end or back end, because no company will actually hire you just on the basis of HTML and CSS. You can just be hired on the basis of JavaScript. That's always there. Number 3 is a simple thing that is called React. So like it's a step-by-step process. Then you come to React, and in React there is a number of more things there, but let's stick to that. Then you come to React. Okay. So basically, why do we need all those things? Like you can make a website with HTML and CSS, but that is a very static website. You can make website with JavaScript, so that is dynamic, but working with JavaScript is always a pain. Okay, so React has simplified all those processes for you. I'm not going in very detail. I'm just giving an idea about the tech stack. Okay, now coming to the backend. So backend you can easily divide into 2 parts. One is the database part, and other is the like what is it, backend part, like the code that you write. So here you can say backend framework like Node.js is here, Node.js and Express. Okay, so database part is more like what is it? Let me give you a simple example so that you can understand these things. So these are some of the topics. Okay, let me give you a few examples so that you'll completely understand HTML, CSS, React, JavaScript, database, Node.js, and Express, each and everything. Okay, so I think this is fine for all of you. So now let's come to that example. So if you guys see here, let's suppose we have a simple form. Okay, in this form we have name, we have email, we have password, and then we finally have a submit button. Okay, so basically this is a design that you have made. So now you will say okay, let's make the design with HTML, CSS. I'm like, perfect, no problem. But when you click on this function, what will happen? Now you have something like this data need to be saved somewhere, right? As soon as you click on the submit button. Step number one, data should be saved. Like on a very high scale, data should be saved. Of course, there are a number of things in between, but why this data should be saved? Because if a person is signing up with these data, okay, next time he log in, of course, his email and password should be compared so that we don't allow wrong person to log in his account. So we need to save it somewhere. So there are a lot of steps that happens before it. Okay. So when you click on submit, okay, this data is transferred to backend. This is the backend guy. So this data will be transferred to backend. So that means he will receive name, email, and password. Okay. He will also do some manipulations. We'll talk about that. And finally, when he is satisfied, he will store the data in something called database. Database, you can just imagine like a container which helps you to store and manage data in a proper way. Okay. Just like your library, which manages the book, similarly database. Okay. So when you see about database, of course, like everything has multiple options. It's also have multiple options. Two of the most popular options. One is the SQL way, and another is the Mongo way. Like you can say one is the America way, other is the Russia way or China way. Okay, whichever way you like. Okay, so people can follow the way you like. Okay, though MongoDB is the dominating, but it's a personal choice of a lot of people. Of course, there are situations when to use what. Now this is great. Okay, so you will say, okay, I got the point. Where is the JavaScript here? So basically, this thing cannot take place without the help of JavaScript. Here, JavaScript is basically involved. Like when you click on a button, okay, so first, how will you identify that a button has been clicked? There will be some way to identify. So any interaction that you are doing with the pages, okay, is controlled by JavaScript. Okay, so now with the help of Java, like this is a simple example. Of course, you can use JavaScript for other purposes also, but I'm just explaining the role of each and every component. You cannot miss anything. Okay, JavaScript. Okay, and now it went to the backend part. What will backend guy do? Backend will validate the name. Is the name valid or not? Like maybe like you have allowed first name and last name, so both should be there, or name should be minimum of 10 letters, 3 letters. Generally, we make it 3 letters. If someone has written a name of just 1 letter, we'll even say there is a problem. It's not allowed, right? Email. So whenever you write email, it should be a proper format. At the rate of is there, .com, .in something is there to validate it's a correct email. Password, you can check the strength of the password and all that, right? Awesome. So these, once you have done these kind of validation in the backend, there is the next thing, validation. What is the validation? Like the person may have entered an email. So now what do you have to check? You have to basically check if this email is already present in your database or not. If it is already present, what will you say? You will say a very simple thing. This email is already present. Okay, that means you have already signed up with us. Okay, earlier. That means you are already a user. Please sign up with a different email or login. We'll give some message like that, right? And if otherwise, if these two things are not true, then you will basically save at this point, right? Then it will save to database. But here you will have a simple question. This validations, can't I do this validation in the front end? I'll say, yes, you can definitely do it, but we also do it in the backend to avoid some kind of attacks, which we'll discuss later. Okay, you just cannot do it at one place. Okay, it will be a very risky thing for your application. Okay. Okay, so this for the backend we are using Node.js. Now the point is, where did we use React? So this thing basically, instead of this, you can use React. Okay, in simple words. Awesome, guys. I think it's clear to all of you. Great. If you have any questions, do let me. Okay, guys. So, any questions? Okay. So I have an easy way to make a website. Yeah, I know. Is it WordPress you are trying to say? कुछ भी कुछ पर Paytm नहीं लगा सकते payment mode. हाँ आराम से you can use Paytm payment mode. Or there are a lot of payment mode. You can use it everywhere. This okay. That's clear. Awesome. This Jeffrey Watson. I did not get your idea. DNF FYI. FYI means forwarding. Okay. Okay. Awesome. Great, guys. So now let's get back. So finally, this is getting complete after a little time. Okay, for old Windows user, it's a little painful thing. It may take up to 5 to 10 minutes. To one of my student, it took a really long time and he got frustrated from React for this purpose. So things can happen, but keep patience. Okay, so this part is done. So now we'll get started with the development of project. Okay, so like, should we use TypeScript and Tailwind in the industry mostly? Okay, see, it's not like that. You should do that. Yes, TypeScript any day is better than JavaScript, no doubt. Okay, so if you have an option between JavaScript and TypeScript, always go for it. Okay, even the companies will prefer for it. Now, Tailwind depends on your company. If that company uses Tailwind, you're good to go. If that companies don't use it, many companies restrict you to use any framework. So you have to use pure CSS. Now that part is a company dependent part. And these decisions, as a fresher, you will not be allowed to take it. If a company has a project on JavaScript, you have to follow that JavaScript. But in case if you know JavaScript, okay, converting to Tailwind CSS is not such a big issue. I mean to say converting to TypeScript is not such a big issue. So I have difficulty in DSA. Will any company hire me? Of course, definitely a lot of company will hire you, even if you don't know a word of DSA. Okay, sir, can you please read a little above in your chat? Okay. Okay. Sure. What if I create small letters? Was that one? Okay. Okay, sir. I have a small basic knowledge on Java. Is it okay? Like, see, at least know one language well. Okay, the fundamentals is clear. We'll manage this whole thing. Okay, don't worry about it. I did not get you an issue. Is it about that small letters? I think, or anything else? It depends. So we have time, then we can use JDA token. Okay. Okay, guys. So let's continue. So now, please teach JavaScript. Okay, I think teaching JavaScript will take a little time, guys. Okay. Oh, goodies as well. Okay, okay, sure. I am not too sure about goodies. I have got my own goodies. I'll let you know about your goodies. Okay. No problem. Okay, guys. We have successfully created a React application, right? You saw it in the terminal a while ago, right? So now, guys, this hello, what I'll do, I'll just open this hello in my terminal. Sorry, I mean to say VS Code. Let me close this and let me open my VS Code. Okay, so this hello is here. Okay, all right, it's taking a little time. Hey, hello, please be fast. I think it did not got copied. That's worrying. Okay, so teaching. Oh, it's there. It's so slow, man. If you're so slow, what will happen? And it's quite slow. No problem. Let it be slow. We can manage that much. So step number one, and this is a basic React application is created. It has number of files and folders. We'll talk about each of them in very much detail. Okay. Before that, let's start our React application because it has given you a lot of files and folders. That means, and not only that, it has also created a very small application for you. So when you click on terminal, this is the place you can find a terminal. Click on new terminal, and you can basically start your React applications. In case sometimes some of you may have your debug console activated, just close it. Click here, it will get closed. You can make it small and bigger, no problem. And then how to start your React application, quite simple, npm start. Every command has some explanation behind it. Since we are beginning, I'm not going into command explanation as of now. So this is npm start. This is also sometime a tedious process. So once, what I generally do now, if I start a React application once, I never stop it. Okay, if I turn off my computer, that's okay. Else this is also a, so React has some few things which takes time. Okay. Starting the development server, because currently you're developing it, so it makes sense to call it a development server. Open Chrome. I generally don't use it a lot, Chrome part, because Chrome is a little heavy. So what I do, I stick to, let me close Chrome. I stick to either Microsoft Edge or Safari. Again, right, it's not a promotion stunt or something, but okay. Okay. So it takes a little time. It's still opening. Okay. So we have to wait for some time. Not a problem. Let's wait for a while till it starts, right? Okay, not an issue. So once it is getting started, then you will basically, like, it may take a little time to get started sometimes, and that also depends on your how busy your internal things are. Of course, currently my other softwares are quite doing a lot of things and it's busy, so it's taking a little time. Else it will be a much quicker. And I want 8 GB RAM in this computer. In case I have 16 GB RAM or 32 GB RAM, this thing will be much faster. Okay. So this is a default React application that is created for you. A React logo, animated logo. Text, basically this is telling you if you want to change the text, you can go edit the file which is present in the source folder, app.js file. Change this line and this will get changed. Okay, and then this is about learn React. So when you click on it, you will go to that documentation that we just saw it, right? Awesome. So by default, React is promoting itself. That's great. So basically, successfully, we have started a React application. Of course, now you will see a lot of things like this. No worries about that. Okay. And some of you may be confused here, know that a development view is not optimized. It's really okay, because optimized means like when you are making it live to the production. That means when you are releasing it on internet so that others can use it. That is basically called production. In that, we have to optimize it. So that part, we'll see it later, how to do that. Okay, currently it's fit for our work, and now we'll get started with the work part. Awesome. Give me 1 second, guys. By mistake, I closed the YouTube chat. 1 second. Okay, so that is opening. 1 second. It's a little slow. So 1 second. I'm using 2 computers. You know that, right? I think we have tested already. System 1 and system 2. Just give me a second. Let me open the YouTube chat. It was opened by Chrome, right? And so once I close Chrome, and that also got closed. Mm. Mm. That is my YouTube voice. Let me close it. Double voice. I want to open the chat. Give me 1 second, guys. For some reason, system has got a little slow. I think multiple processes are there. So next time I'll be using one extra phone to access my YouTube chat. So make it a much better. Voice, let me close. double bones. 1 second. Yep. Better now. Let me open this pop-out chat. You please. The chat is still popping up. Okay. Shubham, you have paid but not joined. Okay. Okay. I think you'll get a link. So from next day, I think you'll be able to join. Okay. Not very sure. Okay. I think it's 10:44. Sometime it's night, so maybe our team would be sending you the link on a mail. Check it once. Okay. You guys. So now let's continue. So now the part is, this is a part. So easy way to make a hello world program in React. So how to make a, okay, 1 second. Before we start. Sorry, yeah. Let's continue. So we'll start with the easy way of making hello world. What is the easy way of making a hello world? And now easy way of doing hello world is literally easy. So we have already started a React application, right? Basically understand how to start a React application. So, and this is the part, right? That I want to make it to hello world. So how to do it in an easy way? Easy way is for the person who knows it. So if you're learning, it will be not so easy, but I'll just show it to you. It is telling us, edit the source.app.js. So let's find it. Which is a source file? This is a source file. Which is the next file? app.js. So we have to edit here, right? So let me make it a little down. This terminal thing. Okay, terminal, please go down. And it is down. So you can see that line, right? So, and save to reload. This is a line that is here, right? What I'll do, I'll remove this line. And let's write, hello world. How are you doing, guys? How are you doing? And simple. It's inside the paragraph tag, right? So no need to include any other tag. If you want, you can put a h1 tag, h2 tag. No problem. That's totally okay. So I'll put a question mark, though I'm not great at grammar, but I think it deserves a question mark there. So whenever you have done it, okay. So step number 1, I have enabled autosave. So you may not have enabled autosave. That means once you have made a changes, you have to control S and save it. So you saw that this got reloaded. As soon as I wrote it, this got reloaded. But that basically means the server got started again for your every change. In case if you want to have a autosave option, which I recommend you should have it, just go to, just go here. You can see this setting icon, right? In this setting icon, you can go to settings. Let it open. Okay. Now at this place, you have to search. Okay. Once it is back, I'll tell you. Okay. So for me, it's on the top because I have shown in number of sessions. So since this is a common use for me, so it's on the top. For you, it will not be on the top. So you have to search for auto save and just give it a search. So once you search it, you will get this. For you, the default option will be no or off. You have to make it after delay. And this value, if it is not already filled, you make it 1000. 1000 means 1000 milliseconds. So every second, your file will automatically receive. Okay, so now you don't have to do control S and all that, right? So once this is there, this is awesome. So now this is saved and this has got updated. If you go here, the change is there. You don't have to reload the piece. The change will automatically be there. In some cases, when it is not there, that basically sometimes what happens, when your system is too slow, it is not able to reload on its own. You have to go there and reload it. But in general cases, it will be okay. Good to go. So this is a simple hello world, which we did not understood at all, right? Why did we change it? What is this file all about, right? We did not have any idea. And why is that? Because at this point, we don't understand any things about these files, right? So now we'll discuss about these files in very detail. Okay, guys? So see, Okay, 1 second. I'm a beginner. Can I go with WordPress or learning JS, CSS, HTML? See, going with WordPress is not a bad option, but if you think the drag and drop option, that is a bad option. Remember, the easier work you choose, the lesser salary you get. Can we use JSP React in one project? Yeah, definitely. They cannot use JavaScript, but I think React, as far as I know, React can be used with Java or any other things. npx create React app cd npm start. Okay, and these codes from Visual Studio. Okay, you are right. Yes, you can do it, but I'll not. There can be some problems. So, okay. This loveface.xyz is in my every chat. Okay, I don't know why. Wherever I do live stream, this is a common person who is everywhere. I think this is a bot. Whoever sees that there's a live stream just goes and put it there. Okay. So now, guys, now we have to learn the hard way of the React. So hard way, I think, let's get started it tomorrow. Today, there was some time that we spent in installing the things and restarting the things, but also setting up all these things and installing will take you a little time. Okay, so what will I suggest is do all this thing till the point I have done, do it. Okay, then we'll talk about each of these files in very detail. Basically, we'll be deleting some file, creating it on our own so that basically you can understand the use of those files. So we'll learn in very detail. Okay, so step number one, and also I recommend you guys to do one thing. Please work with me, else it will not be so fruitful. Okay. Okay, guys. So how much time it will take to learn one blog? It depends the blog you're choosing. Okay. Okay. But I'll try to complete in 7 days. Okay. So 1 second, guys. So on YouTube, do you have guys any questions or anything? Do let me know. Because the YouTube session is about to get end. Then we'll have a like private question sessions in the Zoom. And those who want to come to Zoom classes, may have paid, but you are not able to come here. You will get a mail by today or tomorrow morning so that you can join the tomorrow sessions. Okay. Okay. Yeah, Shubham, you will get the link soon. Okay. In Zoom, we'll have like you can always ask me doubt directly. Number one. Number two, we'll have a personal doubt sessions after the session ends. Okay. Okay. Just give me a minute, guys.